They handcuffed me in my own driveway while my neighbors watched. Through their curtains, too terrified to help. Two men, screaming about unpaid HOA fines and criminal property destruction, dragged me toward a mock patrol car. The acrid smell of burnt barbecue sauce mixed with the metallic taste of pure rage as my Saturday cookout became a public humiliation. My 16-year-old daughter, Sage, stood frozen on the porch, tears streaming, watching her dad get arrested like some common thug. Here's the twist. I'm Chief Garrett Blackwood, 12 years running this town's police department. These weren't real cops. They were hired actors with costume badges sent by my power-hungry HOA president, Cordelia Hayes. But I didn't reveal my identity. I played the helpless victim perfectly, because sometimes the sweetest revenge is letting criminals dig their own graves. 6 months ago, I was a broken man seeking refuge in Willowbrook Estates. I'd moved here after watching cancer steal my wife, Marina, piece by piece. I bought this house with her life insurance money. 23 years of marriage reduced to a down payment on her final dream. The only light left was Sage, who visited on weekends. We bonded in the garage, restoring a 1967 Mustang convertible that Marina adored. The sweet smell of motor oil mixed with Sage's vanilla perfume, the only moments when breathing didn't feel like drowning. The empire of engineered misery. Day 3 in suburban paradise. I discovered I'd moved to hell with a Homeowners Association. 3 violation notices appeared overnight. Grass 0.2 inches too tall. Mailbox charcoal black instead of midnight black. Garbage cans visible for exactly 4 minutes past pickup time. Welcome to Cordelia Hayes' empire of engineered misery. She was 52, with silver hair scraped into a bun tighter than her smile. Her white Mercedes SUV patrolled our streets like a squad car. The first real battle erupted at the monthly HOA meeting. I politely questioned a $500 fine for changing my trucks. Oil in my own driveway. Mr. Blackwood, her voice could have crystallized vodka. This isn't some blue-collar neighborhood where people perform automotive maintenance in public. 24. Neighbors became fascinated by their shoelaces. They weren't homeowners. They were hostages. Sweet Mrs. Chun whispered the terrifying truth afterward. Cordelia had systematically destroyed 2 families through foreclosure lawsuits, seizing their homes over fabricated violations. She wasn't managing a community. She was operating a legal theft ring. That's when this grieving police chief realized Cordelia had just made the fatal mistake of threatening the wrong family. The chief's private investigation. Week 2 brought daily doses of manufactured hell. Porch light bulbs 60 watts instead of 40 watts, $300 fine. Garden hose coiled clockwise instead of counterclockwise, $500 fine.
Then, I spotted them, miniature patrol vehicles with amber flashing lights, cruising our streets like mechanical predators. Cordelia had hired her own private compliance patrol paid enforcers conducting reconnaissance operations. My detective instincts took over. I discovered every violation notice included a $75 processing fee, when state statutes capped administrative costs at around $1.5 maximum. Cordelia was systematically overcharging residents by 300%. This wasn't neighborhood management. This was organized financial fraud, wearing a suburban mask. That weekend, Sage planted a seed. Dad, why don't you just arrest her? I explained I couldn't abuse my position, but my brilliant daughter countered. What if she is committing actual crimes? Game changer. The sacred sanctuary attacked. My investigation triggered her paranoia. Her white Mercedes began random surveillance missions at my driveway's end. I was disrupting her perfect kingdom, but she hadn't identified the insurgent. Cordelia's next assault was a financial nuclear bomb. A $1,500 special assessment fee per household for emergency community upgrades, no details. Just 30 days to pay. But she saved her cruelest blow for last. I came home to find a cease and desist notice superglued to my garage door. My Mustang restoration project with Sage, our sacred sanctuary, where we honored Marina's memory, violated residential use covenants. Cordelia demanded I remove all equipment or face a $5,000 fine for operating in an unauthorized commercial garage. Standing in that oil-scented garage, something inside me shifted from professional interest to personal war. Criminal surveillance and the fake cops. Reviewing her violation photos, I spotted reflections in my kitchen window telephoto. Lens reflections captured accidentally. This woman was photographing residents through their windows to manufacture violations. Detective Riley Thornton, my most trusted officer, confirmed it. Chief, You're describing systematic stalking with federal privacy implications. This is criminal harassment. Riley and I installed discreet counter surveillance. We soon had crystal clear footage of her telephoto. Work criminal privacy violations. That would make federal prosecutors salivate. Our biggest breakthrough? Cordelia's carts were issuing citations on public streets, an act only licensed law enforcement can legally do. Every ticket they wrote was impersonating police officers, a felony charge. Then came the final invoice, $3,200 in accumulated fines, threatening proceedings against the house I'd bought with Marina's life insurance money. Two things solidified my resolve. Sage's discovery. She noticed the violation codes didn't exist in the official HOA documents. 60% of Cordelia's citations referenced completely fabricated rules. Mrs. Chen's secret. Mrs. Chen revealed she was not just a retired teacher. She spent 30 years as a federal prosecutor specializing in white-collar crime. She had been documenting Cordelia's operation for 8 months. The power shift was seismic. I was now the lead investigator in a major federal criminal enterprise, backed by a retired prosecutor. The criminal empire's scope made my investigative instincts roar. Forged signatures, $200,000 in stolen funds flowing through shell corporations, and the chilling discovery that 12 families had lost their homes through Cordelia's document fraud. This wasn't local corruption. This was federal racketeering. We let Cordelia escalate. We needed her to commit the final, undeniable crime. The fake arrest. Professional-grade cameras were hidden strategically. FBI white-collar division agents coordinated surveillance. Search warrants were ready. The moment the fake officers slammed the cold steel of the handcuffs onto my wrist, my rage was pure, but my mind was calm. They were committing federal felonies: impersonation of a federal officer, kidnapping, wire fraud on high-definition video, orchestrated by the same woman who had tried to destroy the last physical memory of my wife. Cordelia Peyton Hayes had terrorized the wrong family. She had no idea she was about to face a police chief who specialized in building cases that federal prosecutors love to prosecute. Cordelia's fabricated legal documents claimed community safety required immediate action against militant residents. Mrs. Chen, Hank Morrison, the Williams family, and 3 other households faced losing their homes within 72 hours unless they submitted to her extortion demands. But my surveillance had captured her smoking gun. Video footage of Cordelia's fake arrest team rehearsing their performance like community theater actors preparing for opening night. The evidence showed detailed coaching sessions where hired actors practiced badge positioning and intimidation, dialogue designed to terrorize a law enforcement officer. Federal warrant preparation was complete. Evidence filled multiple boxes, comprehensive enough to prosecute organized crime families. Anonymous threats against our coalition only added fuel to the fire, triggering federal civil rights violation statutes. My professional vindication arrived when State Police Internal Affairs exonerated me completely, commending my ethical handling of criminal activity. The timing was perfect. Saturday morning would bring Cordelia's fake arrest performance and her real arrest for federal crimes. Saturday afternoon arrived with perfect weather for a cookout. Sage and I were grilling burgers, the familiar sizzle mixing with her teenage chatter, when 2 uniformed officers marched up our driveway. Chief Garrett Blackwood, "You need to come with us immediately," the lead actor declared, citing multiple fabricated HOA violations and official misconduct. Sage froze beside the grill, the terror in her eyes nearly breaking my resolve to play the helpless victim. "There must be some mistake," I said, hands raised in apparent submission, while my hidden backup recorded every word. The fake officers produced their plastic handcuffs with theatrical authority, clearly enjoying their power trip. The cold plastic bit into my wrists as they began their arrest performance. "Dad." Sage's voice cracked with fear and fury. "This is insane." Perfect timing. I gave my signal, touching my ear like I was adjusting a hearing aid, and the world exploded into real law enforcement action. Detective Riley Thornton emerged from concealment, weapon drawn and badge displayed. "Police, nobody move." 2 uniformed officers materialized, surrounding the fake cops, who suddenly looked like deer in headlights. But the real show started when Cordelia's white Mercedes screeched into view, expecting to witness my public humiliation. Instead, she drove straight into a federal takedown operation. FBI agent Sarah Martinez stepped into the driveway, her credentials gleaming in the sunlight. Cordelia Peyton Hayes, you're under arrest for federal wire fraud, conspiracy to commit theft, impersonation of law enforcement officers, and organized financial crimes. The look on Cordelia's face was priceless, pure shock, transitioning to desperate calculation as her entire criminal empire collapsed in real time. "Wait," she stammered, "this is just a neighborhood dispute. These people are—" "Ma'am, you have the right to remain silent," I interrupted, producing my real badge and displaying it for the growing crowd of witnesses. "I'm Chief Garrett Blackwood, and you've just committed multiple federal felonies in front of enough law enforcement to staff a small army." Liberation Day. The neighborhood erupted like New Year's Eve. Residents who'd suffered under Cordelia's reign of terror emerged, cheering. Someone popped champagne. Mrs. Chen raised her phone higher, broadcasting justice to the world. "This can't be happening. I run this community," Cordelia whispered as federal agents snapped real handcuffs onto her wrists. "Actually," Mrs. Chen called from her porch, her prosecutor voice carrying across the crowd, "you never filed proper board elections. Your authority never legally existed." The most meaningful moment came when Sage threw her arms around me, tears of pride mixing with relief. "Dad, that was amazing. Mom would be so proud." Federal agents executed simultaneous search warrants, discovering $180,000 in stolen HOA funds, fake badge manufacturing equipment, and files documenting fraud across multiple counties. Her fake officers and patrol team were arrested in coordinated operations. Control based on lies, theft, and intimidation never lasts when it faces truth, evidence, and real justice. The Ironwood legacy, healing, and community. 8 months later, justice was served. Cordelia received 8 years in federal prison, was ordered to pay $340,000 in restitution to victims, and was banned from any HOA board for life. All fraudulent foreclosures were reversed.